There you are. Well, in this short video, it will be nothing about camping or overlanding. It's just a short excursion in Gothenburg, in the old district of Klippan. And I will give you some historical facts about what have happened here. And also I will talk about a ship, that ship. And in the end, I will give you some peculiar historical facts about Åland. So, okay, let's go.
As you can see, I've changed a little on the thumbnail and the video ingress, so it becomes clearer that this video don't include camping or overlanding. Hope you want to look at it anyway. I think that many countries had their East India Companies. The Swedish company was situated here in Gothenburg. It had its peak in the 18th centuries. The East India Company had in the beginning its business here at Klippan. Later, when the river became deeper, they moved closer to what today are the city center, and by the big harbor channel, the company building still stands. Nowadays, you can find the Gothenburg Museum in the building. This nice building was erected 1775 as a warehouse to the East India Company. Later became a custom house, and it's now one of the city's best restaurants. A replica of Götheborg, one of the ships that was part of the company's fleet, was built and completed 2003. And 2005 it sailed the historical route to China and back again. Really impressive. And thereafter it had been sailed to many destinations. The ship is today the world's largest ocean-going sailing ship built in wood. It has also been noticed in social media since the ship carried out in a rescue operation towards a small sailing boat in distress a year ago. I can imagine it must have been a very big surprise when they saw that it was an old ship from the 18th century that came to the rescue. Today the ship is at quay for repair and maintenance. The original ship was built at the shipyard Terra Nova in Stockholm 1738. The ship made 3 journeys to China. But on the year 1745 the ship was shipwrecked, very ignominious, just after a 30-month journey 900 meters from the anchor place here near Klippan. Oh boy, what a disaster! Even though no one died and most of the cargo could be saved. Why it happened is still a mystery. Recently one meant that the phenomenon of dead water could be the cause. Back to Klippan. This chapel has nothing to do with the East India Company, but to the local industry that came after. Saint Birgitta's Chapel, built in 1857. A nice little church. The architect here is A.V. Edelsvärd, who was commissioned by David Carnegie, who had the requirement that it should look exactly like the chapel in the Scottish village Balkaviter. Let's stop here for a moment. The place has a special meaning for me. On the 18th of July 1981, me and my wife Christina got married here. Here my grandfather is seen congratulating us. The Klippan steamship pier. I don't see many steamers here, if any, but nevertheless a lot of old ships. One can't help being a little humbled about all the work people put into these old boats to preserve them for future generations. The efforts must be tremendous, and I do not envy them.
The old Carnegie ferry mode. No ferries since 1967, when that bridge was completed. It started a ferry trip here to the other side of the river in the 16th century. Myself, I remember it from my childhood, sitting in the back seat of a Hillman estate.
At the 19th century, a large industry of sugar mill and porter production was established here. In the year 1817 was the first porter produced by the German industrialist Robert Laurent. The production was profitable, but due to bad speculations, Mr. Laurent's relatives had to sell the company 1833 to the just 23 years old English wholesaler David Carnegie. The company came to be named the Porter Brewery Limited D. Carnegie and Company. Long time before the different factories was built here on this cliff, there was the Älvsborg fortress. This is what remains today. Absolutely nothing to see. Just some ruins and trash. The fortress was never a success and was moved further out west in the river. More of that in a future video. Today, many of the nice factory buildings houses small enterprises of craft companies and high-tech businesses, but also cultural workers, galleries and restaurants. This area west of Klippan is Roda St. The building that we see here is an old boiler central. The building is the only one that stands on this premises. Today it's a cultural center. It also has a fairly good restaurant. Don't miss that. The name Roda St comes from this stone that people in old times have painted red. It is said to represent blood of all the poor sailors who lost their lives at sea. We do have another sailing ship in Gothenburg, the bark Viking, a four-masted bark built in Denmark 1906 and represent the type of the biggest cargo ships for its time period. Today it's an hotel. I read that 1909 the captain logged a top speed of 15.5 knots at the roaring 40s, and the ship was fully loaded. Great job, I must say. Anyway, This ship and many other ships were both used by the shipowner Gustav Eriksson in Åland. Åland is an autonomous county in the Republic of Finland. It's neutral and demilitarized. A population of about 30,000 inhabitants. The language is Swedish. Around the turn of the century 1900, the shipping companies in Åland bought a lot of second-hand cargo sailing ships and became, under a period of years, the biggest shipowner nations in the world. But after the First World War, the competition with the steam shipping type became too fierce and the sailing ship business disappeared. But who knows, maybe in the future the shipping industry will once again use the wind.
Did you like this video? It was a little different, wasn't it? Anyhow, thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.